From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
Yeah, we have a fascinating guest on tonight, Anastasia Patterson. She's one of the ladies who does the Bassmaster program, along with our last week's guest, Christine Fisher. She's an accomplished angler. I just found out that she's coaching youth, so let's see what else is on her docket.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Going good. How you?
Good. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem. We've been wanting to have you on for a long time. You got a lot of irons in the fire, as they say. You got all kind of stuff going on.
I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, it feels like.
Yep.
I don't ever slow down. And if it weren't for that little app, Life 360, my friends and family half the time would have no clue where I was or what I was doing. Because I also, as Mr. John knows, I'm not the best at getting back to people on time. Or either I get back to you and I'm just like, I have you on the calendar, so I know for sure that we're going to be there, you know?
Absolutely.
I appreciate you being polite, but you don't have to call me Mr. John.
It makes you feel older.
Unless you want to.
It's just a force of habit. Anyone who's like, even if you're the same age as me, I probably would have called you the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a polite way of saying older people. But no, if you don't mind starting out with how you got into fishing and going that route.
Perfect. So like we already said, I'm Anastasia Patterson. I am from South Carolina. I grew up fishing on Santee Cooper with my daddy, and he has a sportsman's club. So we do hunting, fishing, mudding, all the things. But from a young age, literally before I would walk, he would take me fishing with him out in the lake. And most of my best memories are fishing. There's a little place people know if you live on Santee, I'm sure people will see this. But I love Jack's Creek. It's right down the road from my house. And we would go and have little 1v1 tournaments when I was like 2 and 3 and 4 years old. My grandmother would go fishing with us, and my mom's not much of a fisherman, but she does love to hear the stories of hunting and fishing. And then I didn't get to fish, they didn't really have it when I was growing up in a juniors program or in high school, but I did have the opportunity to start a bass fishing team at Presbyterian College and be a part of that process and be a founding member of the team. And when I was in high school, I kind of knew I wanted to fish for a living, but a man that knew me very well was like, I don't know, honey, no woman's ever going to make it in the fishing industry. And there already had been plenty of women who had, but I was discouraged by it because it was someone that, was close to me. And so I kind of put off fishing for a while, didn't think it was something I could do. But truly, the Lord does know the desires of our heart, because whenever I was in college, I got to be a part of the program at PC. We had a great coach. Actually, the week before last, one of my fishing partners passed away. And like I said, I'm not the oldest person ever, but time is precious. So thankfully, I'm getting to chase my dream here to fish for a living. And I now get to fish kind of full-time, kind of part-time, kind of whenever I want to. I have a lot of different jobs, but this year I got to fish the Bass Opens. I fished some of the Toyota Series, the Carolina Bass Challenge. I fish a lot of local tournaments. Whenever I am home, I try to fish every single time I can. There's one this weekend for $10,000. I'm thinking of hopping in, but I don't want the guys to know yet. So I'm sure after today, the cat will be out the bag. But fishing has always been something for me where even if you don't catch fish, you're having a good time watching the sunset. I haven't necessarily in big tournaments had the best track record, but Christine will tell you, I'm sure she talks about this. A lot of time I live in my head. I know exactly what to do. I'm on the fish. But I go for big bites in tournaments, and I've had to learn to not do that, to get 5 first and then to catch the rest. But it's hard to break bad habits. So that's sort of been my thing. I have had plenty of seat time in a boat and even a little bit in a kayak, but no fancy kayaks for sure. But I've been running a boat really since I was a kid. I had a little John boat with a 9.8 tiller handle, and then moved up. My graduation gift from college was a bass boat, and
Nice.
yeah, so I still have that boat. But obviously, I run this year the Bass Pro Shops in Nitro.
Cool.
I think I'm going back to college. Maybe I'll get me a boat for graduation.
I'll never graduate. So,
all right, Barking Rugers, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Hey, buddy, good to see you last week. I got to run into him last week, so good seeing you, my friend. Yep.
Fisher says, "Hey, Anastasia."
Hey, Fisher, thank you for the gloves. I've been enjoying them, but I left them in Mary Catherine's bag. So whenever I go to Alabama in 2 weeks, I'm going to get them back. But I'm sure she's been enjoying them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
great.
They are good gloves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And they're really nice women behind that brand as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the American Angler Outdoors Network, which we're being broadcast live on our streaming channel, says, "Good evening. Thank you, Al. Appreciate everything."
All right.
So, what is in plans for Fisher says you're welcome.
Thank you.
What are your plans for 2025?
Well,
are they still up in the air? Or?
It's kind of up in the air. I haven't made an official announcement, but obviously I'm going to fish the Bass Opens. I'm going to fish all 8. Only this 50, will go. I really, really wanted to fish the EQ this year. But I'd already kind of signed up for some other tournaments before I wanted to do that. So it just didn't work out. And, if for some reason we get halfway through and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, and we'll see how that goes when we get there. But I fish pretty much every weekend when I'm home in a local tournament. If I'm not hunting, which that does cut out a good bit of time, Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. I've gotten to fish with some of the best guys in the country and against them for years. And for me, the goal is not necessarily to make the elite series, right? But it is so encouraging to me, like we talked about a little bit earlier, but having so many women just getting involved in the industry, and not just women, little kids, and just seeing the excitement of them seeing people at the weigh-in that, I heard someone say recently, they're like, you don't have to be the best person to ever make an impact on someone. Yep. And you don't have to be the worst person to make an impact. But people really, really, really love to see the struggles and the good times. So if it's the Lord's will, hopefully whenever it really does matter, which nothing on earth really does matter that much, but hopefully when it really does count, I'm going to win a big one. And if not, I'm okay with that. But I'm having a heck of a time, that's for sure.
Yeah, enjoy it. That's one of the things I admire about Christine Fisher and her YouTube stuff. She doesn't hold back. Like if she makes a mistake, like what was that one where the muskie got her knee, and
yep.
she's not afraid to show the bad stuff.
Yeah, Christine is even though we're like 10 years apart, she is one of my best friends. We get to travel together. I get to kind of learn from her. Like she's my friend and mentor, and I'm sure she would say the same about me. And we're just kind of, in this season of life together, but we've been in a few different seasons. Obviously I knew Christine and Trait, and some other women that were involved kind of when I was coming out of high school. So they have kind of taken me, I kind of have like looked up to them, and, it's been a really cool thing to get to work alongside her. And she has encouraged me to start a YouTube channel that I have been putting off. So I'm probably definitely going to do that in 2025 as well. I do record a lot of times on the water, but like we said, I do a million things. So I don't have a lot of time to sit down and edit. But if I found someone who would be able to do that for me for an affordable price, I would love to do that. But if not, I just got a new laptop and everything. And so I'm hoping I can figure it out pretty fast. But Mr. John will also, you probably know, it took me a little bit to figure out how to get on here. So.
No, I mean, We've had some people with Macs have issues.
I was like, it's not letting me get it, and then I realized I needed to download something. So
Right.
Thankfully, it worked out.
Yes, I'm glad it worked out.
It happens. It happens.
Fisher, congratulations on being part of Team Toyota. Love that they added a ladies team.
Yeah, thank you. It is an honor to be on Team Toyota. I've worked with a lot of brands, endemic and non-endemic, so in the fishing industry and not. But Team Toyota is incredible. They really, really care about their anglers, and the Toyota Bonus Brooks program gets more. You can get more money for fishing just by being a Toyota owner, which is incredible. But the Toyota Owners Tournament, I never got to be a part of that until this year. So a free tournament, no entry fee, where you're guaranteed money. Pretty much if you make, I think it's like the top 40. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. But you get paid not just for bass tournaments. There's walleye, pretty much everything besides, if you're like in high school and college, you don't get paid for those, I don't think. But you definitely do. And there's even local tournaments like the Carolina Bass Challenge here. You can get paid through that. So there's some grassroots ones all the way up to, the Bassmaster Elite series.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jeremy May says, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Jeremy.
All right.
Congratulations, young lady. Keep up the great work.
Thanks,
absolutely.
Guy.
Yeah. Guy, he has a couple females that he coaches up here in New York. Anastasia, you sound like you're from Texas.
I'm from South Carolina, but I do love Texas.
Yep.
Rhonda Pitts says, hey, lady, looking forward to seeing what next year brings.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you. Looking forward to seeing all the great things you do, too. Rhonda Pitts is a great angler and a very nice woman. She always makes sure she comes up to me whenever she sees me at events. Sometimes I get in my head a little bit and I don't notice everything that's going on around me at shows and stuff, and she always makes sure she goes out of her way, so I appreciate that.
Man, can beat that.
Jeremy May says, go Team Toyota.
I agree. I have the 1794 edition, so it's very
nice.
nice to have the, peanut butter brown interior, and I'm going with that again next year too. So
absolutely.
I've loved the truck. It tows very well. Got great gas mileage. It has a lot of great features as well.
Absolutely.
So have Toyota. Definitely look into it.
All right. Toyota is amazing. She just loves Kendall.
Yeah, me too.
Tony Arno wants to know what your favorite lure and line. What is your favorite lake?
So my favorite lure is probably a bladed jig, like a Thunder Cricket, from Strike King. Line, it really depends. I've become a gold label person, and I hate to tell people that because it's really expensive for you to just go buy. But the thing that I teach even my kids is whatever you're confident in, you can buy the cheapest thing off the shelf and it worked really, really well for you if you know what you're doing with your equipment.
100%.
My favorite lake is Santee Cooper. There is no place like home. And it truly is one of the best fisheries in the country. And I know people say it is for 2 weeks out the year, but it's all the time if you can find them. And you can literally catch a 10-pounder from January to January if you can find one, So it's unreal. It is a scary place to run if you don't know what you're doing. But I've ran it at night. I fished at night just last week. You just have to be careful, just like anywhere else that you go. But I kind of also like Hartwell, which I know is also a South Carolina lake, a herring lake. It's a lot different than Santee, though. So the best of both worlds at home. And then if you are around Texas, there's a little lake near Dallas-Fort Worth called Walter E. Long. It's kind of a hidden gem, and I really like that place. So
absolutely.
It won't be now.
Right. And then I guess I kind of have come to learn the St. Lawrence River, and I think that will be fun next year, but I don't know.
It's not on the schedule next year.
No, but I'm going to go there for sure.
Okay.
I'll
tell you the same thing I told Christine Monday. I live 15 minutes from Cayuga Lake.
Mm-hmm.
We have a spare bedroom with its own bathroom, mini fridge, microwave. You're more than welcome to stop in. And
you told Christine that?
Yep.
She's probably going to move in the summertime.
She said I'm on a reserve the month of June.
Oh, I'm not shocked at all. Christine, she means that too. Like,
that's fine.
You have to have plenty of food for her though.
Oh, don't worry. She'll have plenty of baked goods.
Yeah.
We're the opposite. I'm like, I'll take a kid's meal.
Rusty Odom says, "What's up, everyone?"
Hey, Rusty, that's Mr. Side Pot right there. What's up,
yes,
Rusty?
It is. So, 1794, the way to go. It saved my girl's life.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, how you doing? So we covered your favorite lake. What is a lake that you don't care to ever go back to?
Ooh, don't care to ever go back?
And you are allowed to say Gunnersville.
Honestly, the place I don't ever care to go back to, I know for sure I'm going to have to go back to because I fish it every year. But it's Lake Toho, which I know some people really, really love. If you've ever gone to the ICAST Cup or ICAST, that's the lake that we fish in order to make the women's team or the women's qualifier for Team USA. And I always have a really good practice and a very terrible tournament, or the opposite. I'll think I found something really, really good, and then I'll be greeted by a local guide, which means I'm in the right place, but they're using shiners and I'm using bait, artificial bait. So it makes it not a fun place. Second to that, I would say a place I don't want to go back to just because I'm going to say this so people think that it's horrible, but it's not. OHIV.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to spoil people's opinion of OHIV.
Yeah, there's no fish there at all.
Especially no big fish, right? There's no big fish.
No double-digit fish there for sure.
I get it. And there's no 5-pound smallmouth in New York.
Yeah. Error.
Yeah. Minnow Dunkers says, howdy, y'all.
Howdy. How are y'all?
How's it going, Minnow?
Tony Arnold says, come on, South Carolina has a lot of flipping area. What about Cayuga?
Good point.
He can't catch a fish on Cayuga anyway, so he's trying to get He never invites me to go.
Right. I do love bass fishing. Like, obviously, I wouldn't be doing it for a living if I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But there's just something about whenever you could just go, put your bobber in the water with a cricket under it and catch shellcracker and brim, that really brings me joy. People say that I'm the self-proclaimed shellcracker snatcher because I really do. There's not too many days where me, my papa, and my daddy go fishing for shellcracker where we don't catch a limit. And we fish for them really, really hard. So much so that, like, we can smell them when no one else can.
Yep.
And you know where to go. And I can tell you, like, if you drop your bobber this much or put your lead, 6 inches higher whenever the water's going a certain way, or if they're pulling current, that sort of thing. But with bass fishing, sometimes people are like, how did you catch them? And I'm like, the grace of God, because I was a total mess on the lake today.
Been there several times myself.
Yep.
It just happens. The cookies are amazing.
That's coming from somebody that knows.
You have cookies at your house?
Oh, my wife's a baker.
Oh.
Big time. Big time.
Well, I don't know. Are they like sweet or they're like, what kind of cookies?
You name it, she'll make it.
Yep.
I'm sure Christine really did want to stay at your house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Tony says, I'll pitch in for food. Yep.
Yep.
No, I usually bring a dozen cookies with me each day of the tournament and give my boater half.
A dozen cookies during the tournament? That sounds like a terrible idea. I don't know why, but if I ever like get in a tournament, the only thing that I can really eat on the boat, besides like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like an Uncrustable or something, is like if I'm live scoping, I keep Smarties in my hands at all time. For some reason, I think it's like a fixation thing,
Yep.
almost like if during the Mike Tyson fight. I don't know if that was actually fixation, but where he kept biting his glove.
Yep.
I like just go like this with the Smarties, and it keeps me like, oh, all right, this is where I need to cast. So I'm like one-handed fishing the whole time. I don't know what it is, but it's a weird thing that I do.
Hey, but it works for you. It works for you.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, I've cut down my snacks,
Mm-hmm.
but I still bring 2 peanut butter jelly sandwiches, pepperoni, Swiss cheese, and pickles and cookies.
That's a combo.
Yep.
Yeah. The dill pickles are for, cramping if I get cramps.
My the guy that I fish team tournaments with the most out of anyone, his boat snack is like a gas station pizza burrito sort of deal. And then he always says that he feels horrible. I'm like,
I wonder why.
Yeah. But no.
That segment was sponsored by Hey Dudes, or Dude Wipes, I mean.
Yeah, Dude
Wipes.
Mine's just simple. This beef jerky and beef jerky. Bridgeford. So,
really?
Yep. That's because in the cold or in the hot, cold, or rainy, salt stays the same. So constant.
Do you bring anything besides water?
Oh, I'll bring some soft drinks occasionally. If I'm kind of running kind of low that day, I'll chug some soft drinks, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, I wouldn't stop, and I got to where I'm a little older. I need to stop and eat once in a while. So it's hard to, I said, break a habit and slow yourself down. So okay, wait a minute, okay,
Yeah. Tricia with Fisher says we have a spare camper on Lake Erie. Grab Christine and come on up.
There you go.
Well, we got to find some time. I know we're looking at a busy schedule. I know there's going to be like 6 Bassmaster events next year too. So that on top of a tournament schedule that's going to be pretty full. I think I'm also thinking of fishing some LBAAs. I'm still going to do team tournaments. I fish some with my dad, some with my buddy Sawyer, and some with my buddy Zach. And then maybe even fish a couple with Christine too, because we're together all the time, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, the LBA is a lot of fun. I went to weigh-in last year at Guntersville, and those ladies have a good time, and they all support each other. So you at least go to 1 or 2 next year, and it'll be well worth it. I promise you.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. I was actually going to fish that one at Guntersville, but I had something at home at that same weekend, and it was like the angel and the devil, like go fish it.
Yep.
Go fish it. But I was glad to be home just for the 48 hours that I was and get back on the road. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Jerry May says there's some big spotted bass in Hartwell.
Yep.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Oh darn.
Yeah, I think he was saying when you told him he couldn't catch fish down there. So I think he was replying to that.
I love catching big brim using the pink cricket.
Never tried that. I'll try that.
I even like to catch brim on chewing gum too.
Oh yeah.
Barking Lure says now that's fishing when you figure out where you need to be by how it smells.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes, like whenever shellcracker or brim are bedding so hard, the smell will be so strong. Whenever, especially if like you got water low and there's no turnover, like it's just stagnant water, that your head will hurt so bad. And especially like in the swamp, I wish that I could like somehow share my screen to show you, but I have a video from last year where like as far as you looked down this one little patch of trees of cypress knees, there was a boat like for at least a mile, like as far as you could see. And it was a tight area. And then all of a sudden, like one boat would leave and the next boat would leave and the next boat would leave. But like, just like us, we might go to the couch, but we're always going to come back to our bed.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, funny you say that. I've been on a tournament. I think it was out west Kentucky at Barren River. Me and my boat are pulling this area, and it was deer and raccoons, all kind of life. And I caught big fish in the tournament in that area. But I absolutely agree with you there.
It's crazy how it happens. And I've kind of, you know how like people say you find something like that and it's just too good to be true. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, the Lord put all these animals here for a reason. Like, there's something going on at this place. But then sometimes I'll find that like in practice, and then the weather will change and be a lot different, and I'll just try to make something happen in an area, and it'll be, you know, too late in the day to go find something new. But sometimes even like I fished the BFLs for a couple of years now. And the first year that I made the regional, I guess, there was a place on the Potomac River that I found, and another boat was kind of, I knew he was there. We both have seen each other there during practice, and he said, "Where are you going to go tomorrow?" And I said, "I'm coming back here. I've got nothing else." Yep. It was like, "Oh yeah, same." And I was just like, it is what it is. Sometimes there's people that you fish around all the time and you've never seen them in practice, but you just fish the same. And then other times there's people, like there'll be tournaments where I don't see a single soul till from blast off to weigh in.
Absolutely.
That's when you either get that feeling, I'm either in the right spot or the wrong spot.
Oh, I'm a negative Nancy on a tournament day. A lot of times I'm like, we're doing something wrong. We've got.
Ashley got 25 pounds in the boat. I'm doing something wrong.
Yep.
And also, you know, being from Santee Cooper country, a lot of times you think, dang, I need to have 15 to 18 pounds today. Just because you're like always in that headspace of like, they cut a check, this is what you need. Or like if you've got 21 pounds, it's not good. And then I forget, like some places 12 pounds is really, really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some places
5 pounds on the Ohio River.
Yep.
6 pounder is picture on Cayugas by Canoga.
Oh, cool.
His girlfriend caught it. No, I'm only picking. I don't know.
You had him going.
Oh, I already did. No, but you mentioned that years ago, when you fished New York, 15 pounds would win tournaments. Now 15 pounds, you don't even need to weigh your fish in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last 6 years, you know, since the gobies have been introduced and the water's gotten a lot clearer, and it's just crazy how much the fishery has changed.
I think that's kind of all fisheries, though. I fish a lot with a lot of older guys, like 60s, 70s, 80s, and even one gentleman who's in his 90s. And they always tell me, they're like, hey, I don't think you understand how good it once was or how different it'll be. And even I've started to see, you know, since I was a kid on my home lake, how different that it is, or places that I've gone to 3 years ago and then went back this year, just how fast it all changes.
Absolutely. And like I say, I hear a lot of old timers saying the water's gotten a lot clearer over the years. So I guess that's a good thing. But
yeah.
Hopefully that means we're being cleaner.
Yep, definitely.
Rusty Odom says, I will be your boater. I don't know who he's talking to.
Well, Rusty, so that's the funny thing. So my mom asked this morning, she was like, oh, the co-angler's corner, you've like been a co-angler like 4 times in your life. And I said, yeah, but I appreciate them for bringing me on. One time I was a co-angler in the Toyota because I had boat problems that couldn't get fixed before the tournament, and I was already up there, so there's no need to just go home because you've already paid your money. Not even that, though. I wanted to go fishing, you know. And then in college, I fished some as a co, some as a boater with the same kind of guys who would switch back and forth. And then I guess sometimes in a team tournament, depending, I'll be the co-angler. And sometimes the guys I fish with will be the boater, but we do like to switch it up just because.
Yeah.
Now,
but this podcast, this is women in fishing day. We always have women in fishing on Monday, so you're perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, Co-Angler Corner is just
the main name.
The main name because we're both co-anglers. So.
Yep.
Yep.
where that came
From what I've heard, you're both pretty good co-anglers too.
Oh, thanks.
I appreciate it, but I'm not that good.
I'm good at times. I'm not consistent.
Oh my gosh.
John, you wonder why everyone complains about your fishing problem at the buffet tournament. I'm not sure about that.
Oh man, Barking Rugers comes up with some stuff sometimes, I swear.
Jeremy, I love my Wawa pickles during the day.
I recently found out what a Wawa was, and I
Yep.
was like, oh, I never knew what people were talking about, but the gas station.
Yep.
We just have like Shell, BP, and
Yep.
we just got a Buc-ee's like 2.5 hours away from us.
I got Buc-ee's 7 minutes away from me, so I'm blessed.
That's big time. My daddy,
Oh, yeah.
if he could get a job at Buc-ee's and drive there every day, he would love to do that because he eats enough there to probably fund a whole month of work.
They are good.
An hour a day. That's all he needs, right?
There you go.
Brock Crone says, I know snacks. Brock, you haven't seen my
No,
my
you haven't
wife's
seen this
cookies.
setup.
My wife's cookies is about the size of your head.
Oh, those are
Pretty
some
close.
big cookies in.
What's that?
So there's got to be some big old cookies in.
Oh, yeah.
She used a 4-inch cookie cutter.
Wow.
Oh.
That's serious.
Yeah, that's really big.
That's serious.
My dog heard that and he just put his head up. Like whenever
He knows. He knows.
Now, is he a bird dog?
No, he's a Tennessee tree and walker. He's a coon dog.
Yep.
I do have a bird dog too, though, but
Okay.
the one that's
Cool.
inside right now.
Because before we came on, she was talking about duck hunting and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the best season is duck season, I think.
Is that like
too, but I work at a duck hunting club, so this time is like the most special time for us, you know.
Yeah.
We wait all year, so it's like I'm on a high right now. It's like Christmas time. We had a great day. Yesterday was a little slow. I hunted the afternoon, and this morning I had a good morning. So probably
There
not
you
gonna go again until Thanksgiving because I'm already a little tired. But
oh, you got anything for her, Rob?
Yeah, we got a quick comment here from Fisher. She says, is Bassmaster going to start running tournaments or continuing with the instructional seminars?
I personally do not know the answer to the question, but I believe that they are just necessarily, it's more so an initiative. It's not necessarily a tournament organization. So it's just a branch of Bassmaster. So Bassmaster is just to get more women involved in the fishing industry through seminars, workshops, and creating community. And I know there's going to be like a Facebook group where women can come together, kind of like a forum, and talk about anything that they have, or if you are looking for lodging for a Bassmaster tournament, or maybe even another tournament, and there's women, it's going to get you connected. I don't necessarily think that they're looking to do women tournaments that are just for women, but to get more women to fish the tournaments that are already out there.
Okay, I got you.
But that was a good question for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. But I think it's your program's done well this last year. I mean, I think you really touched a lot of ladies.
We got touched by a lot of ladies ourselves. Just hearing the stories of these women who, everything from mothers who wanted to have sons who don't have fathers, who want to get their kids involved, or on the opposite spectrum, dads whose little girls were watching Bass Live with them and saw about the event and said, "Daddy, I want to go to that." And they weren't old enough to, so their dads came along. And then women who, came upon hard times, or COVID came, and, they had a lifestyle change and they started going fishing, just seeing the joy on someone's face, whenever they're getting to try something new. So I know that we are like the faces of it, but it really is for all women who want what's best for women before us. There's women way behind us who have been fishing. I recently went to, I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to go to every single Bass Pro shops in the country. It's going to take me some time for sure. But I went to the Branson, Missouri one. And I was in the women's restroom, and there was a photo in black and white, but it was like original photo of these 4 women wearing dresses with like a stringer and had bass. And I was like, yeah, we need to bring that back. And Kristen and Aggie started just dying laughing because they know that I would be the one to do it. But just to, think about, I mean, my grandgirl passed away and she was 86 or 87 years old, and that she had been fishing for that long. And then even all the way back, into the Bible, there was pictures of men. And even before then, people were fishing. It's just a special thing, that we all get to basically be a family of fishermen together. But it's even more cool that, like, I really didn't know until recently, the last like 5-6 years, a ton of girls that love to fish. I kind of force all my girlfriends to fish and go fishing with me, and mostly by like telling them we're going to go to the beach and then getting a charter, or we're going out on the boat and I'm bringing a rod along or something, and then they're wanting to catch one after, sort of thing. But it's been really cool. A lot of women on Sandseas do fish, so I have seen those women at home, but on the road and at tournaments, it's kind of, I'm traveling by myself, and it's really been awesome to get to travel with girls or have girls message me and say, hey girl, I'm going to fish this open, or I'm not fishing this, but you can come stay with my family during this tournament. So that's really been a cool experience. And I hopefully one day, if I become a mother to a little girl, I hope that she wants to fish, or my granddaughter, maybe if I get to be alive for that long, will want to fish. And even if not my own, someone else's that's close to me, or even just sees me doing it, thinks that they can do it because they saw me do it. And also on the adverse side to, like, Christine is a very successful fisherman. I would not say that I'm like the most successful fisherman. So kind of both on the spectrum of from like one of the greatest of all time to just a girl who loves to fish, which I know Christine also does, but she really is probably one of the best female anglers of our time for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She spends more time in the water than anybody I know.
Literally.
It's funny. One morning, Christine said, Annie, you ain't going to be able to go fishing with me today. I'm fishing with someone, and it was someone very important. And I said, okay, well, my boat and everything was already dumped in. I'm going to go for a little while. Well, I just, I went to go get me some breakfast. I ended up going shopping. I came back, and then I said, you want to go fish this afternoon? And she was tired. Then I fished, and she said, we got to get on the same schedule. So now Christine has made me want to fish more, which is just a few more hours a day. And I've made her want to shop a few more hours a day.
Oh, wow.
I have an idea. Since you mentioned that poster that you saw with the women in the dresses fishing, we can get you in the front of the boat with a dress on and Rob in the back of the boat with his fisher bikini.
I don't want to scare the fish. I don't want to scare the fish. That'd be wrong.
I don't know. I've seen some commercials from, back in the day on the old Homer Circle. That's like way back.
Yeah.
Videos, but where it would be the opposite though. The lady was wearing the bikini, and I don't have the body for that. But there were some funny commercials, but it's probably not as funny in this day and age.
Oh yeah. Yep.
We our local club used to have a tournament that was a fun tournament had to be a male and a female. Well, two friends got together, and they're both males, and one dressed up in a dress, and oh yeah, and they weren't going to take any of the prizes or anything like that, but it was just hilarious.
Yeah, we had one back home, and the guy that lost, had to wear like Daisy Dukes. It was hilarious. There wasn't no money involved. It was pride. Don't finish last, or you have to wear the Daisy Duke. So that's pretty funny. Yeah. And there's some big old boys. There's big old boys bigger than I was. So just saying.
We're going to have to start some sort of girls' side pot situation just between all of us. Me and Christine probably talk the most trash to each other. Just because we definitely know how to get under each other's skin, but we love each other just as much whenever it comes. But we actually fished our first tournament together this year, and we were hollering at each other before we even got going good. I think we were like 2 hours late to the tournament to even begin with.
Oh,
And
Were you shopping?
no, we weren't shopping. No, we were sleeping.
yep.
Sleeping with no alarm, you know.
Oh, no.
No.
That's too funny.
Angie Copa says, "Hey, all, great to see you again, Anastasia Patterson fishing."
Hello, Angie. I'm like so awkward whenever people comment because I'm like,
No, you're good.
They can't really see me, so.
Rusty Odom for the cookies.
Rusty,
Yeah.
I don't know if you live near them, but maybe they're gonna have to deliver you some cookies because he said a lot of stuff about those cookies. They must be really good.
My wife ships them to Jeremy.
Oh,
So
It has instructions not to cook them.
yeah,
really?
it says do not put in broiler.
Jeremy took one of her pies one time and put on broil, let's say, and it got a little crispy.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah, like crispy.
My college roommate accidentally did that with a pizza, but went to class, and it legitimately was. Our house smelled so terrible.
Oh,
And it was as black as night. You wouldn't have been able to recognize that it was even a pizza.
it's like 10 times worse than burnt popcorn, probably.
Yes, the smell was atrocious, and it still had the cardboard under it too. So it was just.
Oh no, God! I'll probably catch the whole house on fire.
I also was like, "Thank you that it didn't," but
Yep.
I was thinking the worst for sure.
Oh, definitely. So I know you have made any announcements, but you are planning on fishing the opens next year.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm for sure fishing the opens. I haven't announced it. I might not announce it, honestly. Half of the time, I'm not the most social media person that exists. So that's the hard thing is like, it might be the day before the tournament. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to be at this tournament. I do know that I need to get better about kind of keeping people in the know. We just live in a world, y'all, that people are crazy. And a lot of times I, like to just keep to myself. I have been posting a lot on TikTok, but it's kind of like stuff that's not necessarily been today or a few days ago. It's like it might be 2 weeks ago when I've posted it today, but I do post on there just about every day. My Facebook content's a little bit different than my Instagram, but Instagram, you're like, I'm doing good if I get 2 posts up there a month.
See, I was I was told Instagram is where it's at. Instagram and YouTube.
It's growing. It's
I
growing.
know that Instagram and YouTube are what you need to have to be successful with any business for sure. Like at the Duck Club, Instagram is how people can contact us. Facebook also, but Instagrams are people like, I don't know, any younger person's probably looking for you on Instagram. Someone who's your aunt, grandmother, great cousin, someone like them. They're the people on Facebook that are trying to find, information. Instagram's like right at the fingertips. Here it is. And then YouTube, obviously, you can get more information from YouTube. And I tell this to the kids that I help coach a lot, that YouTube is like today's version of a dictionary, an encyclopedia, all things in one. As far as I don't have to go look through 700 VHS videos of Bill Dance or whoever else of Anastasia Patterson to find those archived somewhere. I can literally Google it and their YouTube videos will pop up and I'll be able to see anything as far as something they did right now or something they did 10 years ago, because it's all still out there.
Yep. Absolutely good point. And a lot of guys will do tournament study before they go somewhere they've never been. They'll pull up on YouTube and say, what such lake, and they'll pull up everything, on it. So that's a good point.
It's crazy. In college, one of the guys I fished with, he did a ton of research for every tournament, which is awesome. Sometimes you do better if you just show up because you don't have just a clean slate. But there was a dock that this man was fishing in practice, and the boy on my team wanted to find that dock so bad because he just knew the juice was around it, that I think he was going to go insane to find the dock, and thank the Lord that he did, but he found the dock and he never found the fish. So he had searched forever and forever.
He spun out. He spun himself out.
I definitely do watch just about every Bassmaster and Major League Fishing event, and I even watch a good bit of the NPFL tournaments to see just kind of, there's different styles that people have to fishing, which I know y'all know, but the people who fish the way that you fish, right, or the way that I fish, and I tend to watch them and I see how they do on certain lakes, and that kind of gives me a head space to know, oh, if I go to Lake Dardanelle, I might not do as well, or I need to prepare differently for practice because someone that I fish like right now, didn't do as well. Now, there'll be times where the magic just happens and you could do everything wrong and have the best tournament, and you could do everything right and it just not work out in your favor. Nope. That's the blessing and the curse of tournament fishing for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Ed Collins says, how many women are fishing the opens? He fished the invitationals. The first year a woman could fish.
I don't have the answer to that question. I don't think this year.
Yeah, they don't have the numbers out yet.
As a boater, I know one other woman who fished one event as a boater. I know about Christine and Maggie, and I think I saw 2 other co-anglers, maybe 3 that were boaters. I also know for sure at the Okeechobee event there was 2 other women who were boaters, but I'm not sure if they fished after that event just because I didn't see them, but that doesn't mean anything. You're not going to see women when you're looking at a tournament with 250 men
right,
unless they go across the stage and you're at the weigh-in, or if they make the gallery or something. And I'll be the first person to say I'm not the best person at going back and looking at a tournament because sometimes I just want to go get my head ready for that next one. And I used to live in the state of dwelling in the past, and that would not be able to be good for me to keep going. But I hope that we see a heck of a lot of women fishing in them, but I don't know that we will. But I hope that we do.
I think you will.
Jeff Fitz says, tell her, go Gators.
Uh-oh. Now he's done it.
I don't know if you saw. I went gator hunting.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. I went, me, Christine, and Wendy Biles, who's a kayak angler as well, went with Big Show and God's Country Outfitters. It was awesome. We had a great time. Ooh. We got a 9 and a 12-foot gator. That was
wow.
Great time. That's the only gator I really care about. The other ones.
Did you get to eat it or no?
Yeah, I have like 60 pounds of gator meat still. So
okay.
You have to make some gator shoes. You have to make some gator shoes too.
I'm getting some gator stuff for sure.
Some high heels.
Maybe not high heels, but like maybe cowboy boots, or they had like really cool purses and stuff too.
There you go.
Angie wants to know if you're going to be coming to the East Tennessee Fishing Expo.
I don't believe that I will be coming to the East Tennessee Fishing Expo. I might be going to NWTF, the National Wild Turkey Federation. But I don't know about I don't know anything about the East Tennessee Fishing Expo, honestly.
It's usually end of January, in Knoxville, and it's a huge show. And Ladies Fisher is going to be there, I know, and some big brands. So I've been to it the last 8 or 9 years. It keeps getting bigger and bigger, but it's an awesome show.
That's awesome. I'll have to look into it. If it's that last week of January, I know for sure I'll be fishing somewhere at that point. So
yeah.
Oh, that's there.
All right. So we brought this topic up a couple times on the show already. Question for you: what's your favorite homemade cookie?
My favorite homemade cookie. I don't know if I told you, but I don't eat a lot of cookies. But I have loved hearing about these cookies because I'm intrigued to go find a cookie. I really am just like a sugar cookie person. Like I used to love those just plain cookies from the Great American Cookie with the little sprinkles on them.
Oh yeah.
And I don't eat chocolate, so maybe that's why I'm not like a big connoisseur of cookies. And I love an oatmeal cream pie. So if you could make an oatmeal cream pie cookie.
That's a good idea.
She does.
And then I
Now,
can
what
eat.
about how are you for ice cream?
I don't eat ice cream.
Oh, you and Christina be fighting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she loves custard, and I can't stand to even like. She's taught me so many things, and I've learned so much from her, and also Maggie. But I spend a lot of time with Christine, and
Yeah.
Christine's obsessed with sweets and custards and ice cream stores, and like y'all, she'll wake up and say, "I'm going to go to the store and get an ice cream," and she'll go back that afternoon.
Wow.
I don't know how she's so small. We're the opposite. I don't ever eat, and I'm big, and she always eats.
Oh
when
man.
I was younger, like I could go to Burger King and get 6 chicken sandwiches and eat them, and not gain an ounce.
I couldn't do that, but I do love to eat like French fries
Yeah.
or just like chips or I'm trying to think. There was a place we went to when we were up north in North like Culver's.
Yeah. I got Culver's in Kentucky. They're awesome.
Culver's, yep. I had I think we just got one like in Charlotte, so like not in South Carolina, but the other one recently. And Culver's they have pretty good food for a drive-through, so
They're awesome.
other than that, I think I just eat, I don't know, Moe's and Chipotle. I kind of love like Mexican food, that sort of thing. And a drive-through, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite one.
There you
Jeff Fitz at Shaw never invited you to gator hunt.
Well, hey, Mr. Jeff. Shaw has never invited me on a gator hunt, but Shaw has invited me to a whole lot of places. I love him.
Great guy. Yeah, great guy.
All right, so we're at a point in the show. We're 50 minutes in already, where we like to give you your time to talk about your sponsors, people who've helped you along the way, brought you up fishing and things like that, and just to thank people. So
Perfect.
Go ahead and take it away.
Thanks. I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. I truly do appreciate it. It's an honor to get to be on a show that is live streamed for people to see, and that people who truly care about fishing. So thank y'all. Obviously, thank you to the good Lord upstairs, because without him, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And the same goes for my mom and daddy. They help me out a lot. But I do have a lot of great sponsors that I work with and have worked with for a couple of years. This year, I did join Team Toyota, and that's been a blessing, as well as Bass Pro Shops. And so I'm running the Bass Pro Shops Nitro Z20 this year. Next year, I'm running the XL. And then I also get to work with Strike King Lures and Mock, so rather outdoors. Buck and Bass, the best rain suit I've ever had. I also use it for hunting a good bit of time. And even if I just need a rain jacket to grab to go outside to the mailbox or something, you literally are bone dry whenever you come back in the house. I work with Yellow Tech, and then I also started working this year with Mossback Fish Habitat. And I have never caught as many fish in areas where I never caught fish until I put Mossback Fish Habitats there. Caught fish around them. I've caught fish on them. I've seen fish on them. I've just had a great time with that. And then I also get to work with Lululemon, which is a very known like athletic company. And then a local company that I've worked with a few years, Simpson's Ace Hardware and Sports. They have 5 locations, so a couple different stores, and they kind of have everything from sporting goods to hardware. And they have a good Black Friday sale, so if you're local, make sure that you go by there. Stasha LLC, which is my mom's business. She does everything under the sun. That's probably where I get it from. And then the Liberty Hill Sportsman's Club, which is a dog driving club in South Carolina, as well as Clarendon Club, where we do weddings, events, and hunts, both duck and deer. We also have a trophy bass pond out there at the Clarendon Club. You might have seen a lot of the pros stay at the Clarendon Club or the Lake Marion Vacation Home for their stays at CNC. So we do retreats and stay as well. And I always feel like that I am missing someone. So let me just think in my brain real quick. Oh, this year, New Threads made my jersey They did a great job. And then also, of course, 111 Industries wrapped my boat this year. I have a cheetah print boat wrap if you've never seen it.
Oh, sweet.
So it's really, really fun. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to go with that same thing next year or not. But that was a kind of a dream that I had since I was 9 years old. I drew it out. So it was cool to get to see that come to life this year. But I'm kind of torn. There's something else I think I want to do. So we're going to see how it turns out, kind of maybe on one side first, and then we'll see how it ends up. And then also Jewelry Wholesale, which is in Sumter, South Carolina, but they do ship. They have everything from fine jewelry to sterling, a game day store for Carolina and Clemson, as well as they do layaways, 10% down, 10 months to pay. So that's the best you can get. And they specialize in hunting and fishing, jewelry and designs in gold. So that's pretty cool. And then I feel like I'm still missing somebody, but if I did miss you, I still appreciate you. And I'm really thankful for all of my sponsors. Without them, it definitely wouldn't be possible. I spend a lot of time away from home. And as a woman, it can be a scary thing to be away from home a lot of the time. So I guess I should also thank whoever made telephones and mapping services.
Yep.
And it's funny, a few weeks ago during the hurricane, my phone lost signal and I had to use a paper map that I got from a tackle shop that he said he was going out the door and he saw me pulling up and I had my boat behind me and he said, I can't let one of the pros down. And then he realized that it was just me and he was probably disappointed. But I did have a paper map and I used that paper map to get back home. And I don't think I remember my grandgirl had a paper map in her Avalon or Pinto like 20 years ago. So it was, I haven't used a paper map ever on my own until then. So I had to take a paper map. But when I got to Atlanta, I figured out how to get back home. So
sweet. Got a couple quick comments here. Jeff Fitz.
Yeah. Hey, they rebuilt Lone Star in Santa yet?
So Lone Star is a barbecue restaurant that burned down. I actually think that they are in the process of rebuilding it, or it might be already ready to go. I need to look into that, but I can message you, Mr. Jeff, and let you know. They have great barbecue. They have snow cones for kids, and it's not necessarily off the beaten path. Everything in Santee Cooper country is kind of off the beaten path. But there's a couple restaurants opening around here before the summertime comes back, probably before March. So if y'all are down here, let us know. And we definitely have places for y'all to stay.
Definitely.
And Andy says, it's your original design on the wrap, and it was awesome to see at Lake Hartwell Toyota Owners Tournament.
Thank you, Miss Angie. It was awesome to see you at the tournament. And yeah, it's a fun design on the wrap. There's a long story behind it, but I kind of knew from a young age that fishing was something that I wanted to do. And my teacher had asked us, if you were stuck on a deserted island, what would you bring? And I said, a Barbie bass boat, an actual bass boat, a Bible, and a boy. And I was like a little girl. And she said, what would you get a boy for? And I said, because you could boss them around. And also, whenever they think that you don't know what you're doing, then you could just take your boat and leave them on the island.
You had that thought out.
Yeah, I did.
All right. On those notes, well, hey, thank you for coming on. I want to have you on again next year sometime. I have a couple ideas for some shows, you and Christine as well. So thank you. Bless you. Have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas. Take care and good luck on what your endeavors for next year.
Thank you so much for having me again, Mr. John and Mr. Rob. John, you get to feeling better. I'll be praying for you for sure. And
appreciate it.
Next year for sure. And as always, y'all, head up, hammer down, and we will see you out there.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. All right. See you. Well, that's a sharp young lady right there. She knows her stuff.
Yes. All right, everybody. we have a show tomorrow with Jen Nolan talking about Texas rig fishing. And then Wednesday, we are taking the night off to spend time with our family. So
absolutely.
Everybody have a great night, and God bless and be safe.
Peace out.